Hey, this is Robert here at Guzzi Fabrication. Hey, hit that subscribe button and follow us along. Now, this is going to be a part one of a 1968 RT 440 4-speed Dodge Charger restoration. Now, this car had come from West Texas. It wasn't a completely rust-free car, but it's a really nice start on a restoration project. And here we're using a brass drift punch to knock those upper control arm bolts out. And removing the pressure tension off the torsion bars. And here's the front suspension removed. And moving on to the rear suspension removal. Now this is a Dana 44, and we're going to be shipping that out for a complete rebuild. And here we have all of the suspension parts laid out and disassembled, as well as some brackets, front and rear bumper, and other miscellaneous parts. That's all going to be media blasted, powder coated, and finished in a satin black. Now here's a really important part of a restoration: removing all of the body caulking. And you can see we did that with a wire wheel. Over time, water will get behind that body caulking, and if you don't get it out, there's usually rust there. You don't want to do a restoration over that. And then we're going to be moving on to the media blasting process. It's really important to use the correct pressure, the correct angle, and some technique when media blasting a car body. Otherwise you'll build up heat, and that will cause warpage in the body panels. Not fun. Yeah, you can kind of see that we're really dusting that dash. Not going to warp that thing. Okay, so moving on. We're rotating the body on the rotisserie. Doing the media blasting on the undercarriage, being really nice and thorough. And the clean out. And whenever you have bare steel or media blasted steel, it's very important to only use epoxy primer or a zinc based primer. If a lacquer based primer or a urethane based primer is used, water will get in behind that, and it's going to cause you issues later down the road. And what we're using is PPG DP90 epoxy primer. We're a PPG certified shop, and that's we use PPG products throughout. Now we're moving on to address the rest of the body panels. I'm using good technique to remove the old finish, and then we're going to be applying that same DP90 primer to the media blasted panels. And here's the finish out. Really nice and clean. Old finish removal and prep. And so now we're going to be removing the Charger body from the rotisserie. We've fabricated some casters. We need to be able to maneuver that thing around so that we can get it mounted onto the frame fixture. And cleaning up the frame fixture. And here we are positioning the body over the fixture. We're going to get it nice and square. And then we're going to be mounting that thing on 4 different points, because we're going to be removing the entire floor, the entire trunk, left and right quarter panels, and the taillight panel. So we don't want that chassis moving around on us. So we will have it nice and locked down, and we can perform really nice repairs that way. You're just finishing out some of the lockdown points. That's the rear one. Going through the spring shackle eye hole. And here's just a shot of the inner engine compartment with the DP90 applied. And you'll notice the level on the rocker. I always want to level out that rocker. Alright, I just got all of the parts laid out. And the last time you saw the suspension parts and brackets, well, they were not in this condition. We've gotten all of the powder coating complete, and it was all refinished in a satin black. Really nice finish, really durable finish. Much more durable than painting, especially underneath of a vehicle. And you can see we have really nice coverage. Detail is everything. Now you'll notice there are areas that haven't been powder coated, and there's a reason for that. Now these are all fitment areas where two parts fit together. Whenever you powder coat, there is a build in mills, and if you have a really tight tolerance, well, kind of like this area here where the bushing would press in, well, you would have a really bad day trying to press a bushing in if that had been powder coated, and especially here. Now these are threads. Yeah, that would be a not happy face day. So those areas were masked off so that the powder coat couldn't be applied there. Any threads, threaded areas, and where we couldn't mask, well, these little plugs were installed, and then when the process is done, they just simply push out. And here's the end of the torsion bar. And so you can see, without being powder coated, these fit together. You can install and uninstall pretty easily. If that had been powder coated, yeah, that would not play out like that. So on those areas that have not been powder coated, well, they have to have some type of rust preventative coating. So we mixed up some DP90 epoxy primer, and we're just going to manually coat those areas. And we're going to make sure we get good coverage. We're not just going to slop in the primer. We're going to take our time, smooth it out, make sure it's not dripping everywhere and not pooling or puddling. And then we're going to take care of where the bushing is going to be pressed into place. And you can do this with a foam brush too. A foam brush works really well also. Just taking our time, make sure we get good coverage. We don't want to miss any areas. And there we have it. Now those areas are protected, and it has a much thinner coating on it. That's going to allow the parts to be installed much easier. And here is the finished look. Now our parts are completely finished and protected from rust. And so we built the little stand here, and for you Mopar guys, finished out in B5 blue. Now this is a shot of the dash. It's just a dash holder. Here's our finished dash, and again it's finished in a low gloss black. And on the stand we can rotate it, so it's going to really make it easy to build the dash out of the car and then just install it without damaging the dash. And a shot of the backside. Detail is everything. We've gotten this very nice coverage on this thing. No bare spots, no missed spots. It's going to be really nice for the build. Dash turned out really nice. Happy with it. Thanks for watching.